Hold up. The free womb laws were legal statutes enacted in several Latin American countries during the 19th century as part of a gradual emancipation effort. These laws declare that children born to a slave woman after a certain date will be free at birth, though often under specific conditions. The origins of these laws were deeply tied to the broader abolitionist movement that swept across the Americas following the Enlightenment and the Haitian Revolution. Countries like Colombia, Argentina, Chile, Brazil, and others implemented versions of the law as compromises between abolitionists and slaveholders. In Brazil, the law was called Lei do Ventre Livre and was passed in 1871, stating that children born to slave mothers after the dates were legally free. However, these children were often required to remain in the service of the mother's owners until adulthood or a certain age, typically 21 years old, effectively continuing their exploitation. The goal was to gradually end slavery without triggering economic collapse or mass resistance from powerful slave-owning elites. Despite their intention, free womb laws were deeply controversial and often ineffective in practice. Slaveholders pushed back by manipulating age records, maintaining harsh labor conditions, and resisting enforcement of the laws. Many feared that these laws would undermine social order, encourage rebellion, or hurt agricultural economies dependent on enslaved labor. In Brazil, conservative landowners in the coffee and sugar industries lobbied fiercely to limit the law's implementation. Enslaved people and their allies often saw these laws as insufficient, demanding full abolition rather than partial reforms. In many cases, free womb laws delayed rather than ended the institution of slavery, allowing it to persist under different names and conditions. Despite these flaws, these laws represented a turning point in public and legal acknowledgement that slavery was unjust and unsustainable. They laid the groundwork for future abolitionist laws and inspired debates on human rights, citizenship, and racial equality. The free womb laws in Brazil, for example, helped pave the way for the Golden Law of 1888, which abolished slavery outright. Similarly, in countries like Colombia and Argentina, these laws were part of a step-by-step dismantling of slave systems. They also showed how legal framework could both advance and delay social justice, depending on how they were enforced. Ultimately, the free womb laws were imperfect, but pivotal tools in the broader abolitionist narrative of the Americas.